clearly this period of relative calm has subsided quite a bit. What is Israel trying to achieve here?
Well, I think Israel regrets, to judge from Netanyahu's comments last night, the fact that 2.5 weeks passed in a kind of limbo. The last ceasefire with Hamas expired in that time period. Israel did not resume warfare, neither did Hamas, but there was no progress in hostage talks. There are 59 hostages remaining in the Gaza Strip, which Israel is intent on recovering. So far, it's tried to do it through a combination of negotiations and warfare. And what Netanyahu is saying is now Israel will resume the warfare, albeit in a staggered fashion. For now, Israel is restraining itself to airstrikes, albeit with a good deal of damage and casualties in the Gaza Strip, while pressuring Hamas to return to negotiations on terms more agreeable to Israel. So it would not appear right now that Israel is an intent on a full resumption of the war to the point where Hamas might be crushed militarily or Israeli troops sweep through the Gaza Strip again. But it's in that direction while leaving the door open for Hamas to come back to the negotiating table with different terms.
Dan, how should we be thinking about the situation there between Israel and Hamas happening concurrently as we're seeing the U.S. escalation against the Houthis? How are you assessing now this escalation of conflict now in the region?
Well, I think we're seeing one set of allies, Israel and the United States, taking on another set of allies, Hamas and the Houthis, but more specifically Iran, which sponsors both of those groups. This has pretty much been said explicitly by President Trump now. The Houthis did fire one ballistic missile at Israel yesterday. This was probably to be expected, given that this is really the last Iranian proxy group still up and fighting on behalf of Gaza after Israel demolished, to a large degree, Hezbollah in Lebanon, to the fall of the Assad regime in Syria. So what we have is the United States, which has far greater firepower to bear in the Red Sea, bringing that firepower to bear against the Houthis for a number of reasons, including the fact that the Houthis are again threatening international shipping in that waterway. But I don't think there's any question now that that rather surprising campaign launched by the Americans only a few days before this surprise campaign launched by Israel in Gaza, there is an interplay between the two operationally. There is a support between the two. This has pretty much been stated by officials in both countries now.